What is going on, guys? Today I'm going to take a step back from my more detailed keyboard lighting design videos, and I'm going to address some of the more basic functions of using Razer Synapse 3 Studio. This is just going to be a real basic overview of how to use all the tools that Razer Synapse 3 provides. If you're brand new to Razer Synapse 3, stay tuned to watch the video. I guarantee you're going to learn something. Even for some of you guys that have been using Razer Synapse 3 for a long time, you guys will most likely learn something as well. So we're going to get right into this video. Please, if you like the video, hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe and notification icon. That way you guys are updated as soon as I upload new keyboard lighting designs. All right, guys, this is how to use Razer Synapse 3 Studio. Let's go. Alright guys, I'm just going to start this video off right off the bat by explaining that Razer Synapse 3 only is compatible with certain devices. If you want to know if your device is compatible, just go to the Razer website. You can go to Software, Razer Synapse 3, scroll down, and you'll see all the devices here, supported devices. This is all the devices that is supported under Razer Synapse 3. If you don't see your device in this page and you have RGB lighting on your keyboard, more likely than not, it's going to be a Razer Synapse 2 compatible device. You click on Razer Synapse 2 Legacy, scroll down a little bit down the page and you'll see Synapse enabled devices. And this is where you're going to find if your device is only compatible for Razer Synapse 2. So when you open Razer Synapse, what you're going to have is your dashboard. This is your dashboard that you're going to see right off the bat. And it's going to have devices, modules, online services, etc., etc. So to get to Razer Synapse Studio, simply just click on the Studio tab up here at the top. And that's going to bring you to where you can do the majority of your customizations. Right now, I'm actually working on a keyboard lighting design that's going to spell words or spell letters, whatever you want. This is going to be my very next video. So please hit that subscribe button so you guys can see how this is done. To begin this video, I'm just going to create a brand new profile so that I'm starting from scratch, just like you guys are. At the top section of your window, you're going to see a drop down with 3 little dots next to it. If you click on those 3 little dots, you have lots of options here. You can add a new profile. You can import a profile effect, which I explain in one of my videos, how to import chroma effect profiles with Dropbox. You can rename your profile, duplicate it, export it, or delete it. What I'm going to do is just going to hit add, and it's going to create a brand new blank chroma profile. All right, guys, real briefly, I'm just going to explain the drop down real quick. So if you click on this drop down, this is the primary way of switching between your keyboard lighting profiles manually. So you can just click on this drop down. It's got all of your keyboarding lighting profiles saved right here. I can click on here on my Pink Floyd design to switch between that. I can go to my radar design. I can click and I can go to my Galaxy design. You guys get the hint. That is the primary way of switching between the profiles manually. You can also hotkey these to your keyboard so that you can press things like function and 1 to bring up a profile and etc. To do this, you want to click on the Synapse tab at the very top left. You want to go to Global Shortcuts. You want to click on Add a Shortcut. On the left side of your window, you're going to see Switch Lighting. Choose whatever lighting profile you want from the drop down menu. I'm going to keep mine on Galaxy and just hit save. Now in this little box right here, this is where you set your shortcut. So if you click in it, you can click function 1. So now when I press the function key and the 1 key, it will activate my Galaxy lighting. So I can add another shortcut, go to switch lighting, add another profile. I'll put hacking the matrix on there, hit save. I'm just going to click and I'm going to set this to function key 2. Now I can go back to my studio and you can see if I hit function and 2, it'll switch over to hacking the matrix. If I hit function key and 1, it'll switch back to Galaxy. Another big problem that a lot of people have with Synapse is that when they open a video game or open a game like Fortnite and they go in, and as soon as the game loads up, it wipes their colors out or whatever their keyboard lighting is, and it goes white or it changes to something else. A lot of people don't know how to keep your custom lighting in a game. So to be able to keep your custom lighting, click on this Connect tab at the top, and you can see here there's a list of apps that you might have on your computer that takes control of your keyboard lighting. If these apps are on, it will take control of your keyboard lighting whenever you load up the game. If you play Fortnite like I do, and you want to have your custom keyboard lighting in the game, just click on this app, and over here on the top right you can see it says enable this app. Go ahead and uncheck that, and that's it. That's all you have to do. So now when you load up Fortnite won't take control of your keyboard lighting. You'll be able to use your custom lighting within the game. Now on the flip side, there's also some games that have some cool effects whenever you load up. It has like H1Z1. Whenever you load up H1Z1, it takes control of your keyboard. It lights the H1Z1 buttons on your keyboard. It looks pretty cool. If you want something like that on your keyboard, just go ahead and select that application and just enable the app to take control of your lighting. It's going to cover the display. A lot of you guys will get into the program and you're going to notice that your keyboard's small on the page like this, or it's huge like this, and you can't really quite get it square into the center of the keyboard. If you hold control, you can zoom in, zoom out on this stuff. That's what I'm doing right now, holding control and scroll wheel to zoom in, zoom out. If you click in the gray area and hold control and press 0, it'll automatically resize your window to fit your devices. Next, I'm just going to do a brief overview of what each of the lighting effects are and what they do on your keyboard. So if you look at the bottom left of your window, you have 11 different effects down here. You have Ambient Awareness, Audio Meter, Breathing, Fire, Reactive, Ripple, Spectrum Cycling, Starlight, Static, Wave, and Wheel. At any point, if you want to add one of these effects to your keyboard lighting, you just come down to the bottom left here and click on the effect that you want. When you click on it, it will be added into your effect layer list over here on the left. Real quick, I'm going to add every effect to this list. So I've added every effect to my list over here. And what I'm going to do real quick is I'm just going to hide all of my layers except for one. That way I can briefly go through and explain each layer and how they perform. I'm going to start from the bottom here with Spectrum Cycling, and I'm just going to click this little eyeball to hide every other effect. So now, as you can see, the only visible effect on my keyboard right now is the Spectrum Cycling. To get into the customization with an effect layer, you have to select which keys you want to have lighting changes. You can do this by selecting keys individually by holding control and just clicking on individual keys that you want to have this lighting effect on your keyboard. You can click and drag to select certain areas of keys that you want to have lighting effects. There's also a quick selections drop down here at the top. If you click on this drop down, it's going to give you a list of groups of keys that you can select. So this is everything, selects every key. You can select all keys for your Death Adder Elite. You can select all keys for your keyboard. You can select your scroll wheel. You can select your logo. You can select WASD keys, arrow keys. You guys get the hint. I'm going to select all the keys for now and go over Spectrum Cycling. Over here on the right is what separates each effect from other effects. So each effect has different options that is given to you on the right. These are all of your different settings that you can change within each effect layer. So right now we have Spectrum Cycling, which is just going to slowly cycle through each color of the rainbow. If I click on this color drop down right here, it's going to give you 5 to 6 set patterns that you can choose for this effect. So this one's a green one, this one's a blue and white one, you got blue and purple or magenta, red and yellow. This pattern over here on the far right is going to be the most recent custom color that you've put on there. So what do I mean by this is if I use this pattern and I change any of the settings within this pattern, it's on the very far right, it's going to automatically copy whatever I've used. So if I move this node, you see the far right thing, it automatically changes and it saves the settings that I have for this lighting. So we'll get down here into the speed. The only other option you have for spectrum cycling is changing speed. So the speed that it takes to go from one color to the next. This slows it down, this speeds it up. For ambient awareness, I'm gonna be perfectly honest, I don't really know how to use it yet. It's a brand new effect. I'm still trying to learn it. I don't know how to use it yet, so please bear with me. I'll have a video out in the future on how to use this. I'm just gonna skip all of the effect layers up to the wave. I'm just gonna jump straight to the wave and go into the details of a lot of the customization stuff. Don't worry, because I'll be coming back to all the effect layers later in the video. So why am I skipping to the wave? The wave is by far the most versatile effect that you can use on your custom keyboard lighting. You can use a wave to almost do every other effect layer. You can make breathing, you can make fire, you can make reactive, you can make ripple, you can make spectrum cycling, starlight, static, everything. You can do everything, almost everything with a wave. So if you look at a lot of my custom keyboard lighting videos, almost all of them are going to have a wave involved because they're so versatile. So what do I mean by versatile? Let me just show you real quick. So I have my effect layer chosen. I select my keys. Look how many options you have here on the right. Along with my colors, I can change my speed. I can change how wide I want my pattern to be. I can pause my wave, which means it'll run through my color pattern and then pause for a certain number of time. I can change the angle at which I want my wave to go. I can split my wave, which what this does is it just will work from the center of your keyboard out, just like that. And you can also go from the outside of your keyboard in by changing your angle to the left side of the circle here. It'll go from the outside of your keyboard in. I can change the playback, so I can have my wave begin when I click on these selected keys. And if I change my end to after one time and hit save, so now what I can do is anytime I press a key, it'll do my wave. It'll go through my color pattern up here that I've chosen on my bar up here. Once it goes through all the colors on this bar, it'll end. It'll go through one time and end. There's just so many options that you have for the wave. Let me prove to you that you can do all these other effects with just a wave. So right here, you can see on the left, I only have a wave layer on this profile. That's all I have. But as you can see on the right here, I didn't spend a whole lot of time on it, so it's not too realistic, but this is where I've kind of replicated a fire type of design. Right here on the B button, I have breathing. You can see it's breathing between a red and a blue color. On the 0 key up here, I have spectrum cycling. It's just slowly cycling through different colors. On S, I have static. It's just a regular static. On my R key here, you can see if I press it, I have it on set to a reactive. So I press it and it dims to 0. So this just shows you how powerful the wave effect is on this keyboard. I just want to go over all of the color customizations you can do. So we're going to click on this gradient bar. So with the wave, like I said before, you can have these set patterns at the top. You got 5 nodes right here. These are movable nodes that you can move around and change however you want. You got 5, 3, 2, and a 1 node. You can change these nodes. You can customize these however you want. If you look right here, you have an addition symbol and a trash icon. You can click on a node and hit the plus symbol, and it'll duplicate that node that you had. So notice how none of these have 4 nodes. If you want 4 nodes, you can just click on one, add it, and now you have 4 on there. Why would you want 4? Well, if you don't want a dissolve between your colors, you can pinch these close together. That way you can see on the gradient bar, it's like instant. So if I were to choose red over here, so now you can see when the wave goes and it goes from one color to the next, there is no dissolve pattern. There's no mix between colors. It's instant red to yellow. Each of these nodes, you can customize the color of them. I'm going to change these to blue just because they're kind of hard to see. There, now you can easily see those nodes. If I wanted to change the color of one of these nodes, I can click on the node and there's set colors down here on the bottom. So I can make this node red, I can make this node orange, I can make it yellow, green, light blue, dark blue, magenta. You can also customize this to whatever color you want using this chart right here. So with the node selected, I can click in this chart and I can drag it around and just make it whatever color I want possible. Also, you can change the darkness or brightness of each color. So here I have it on a red right here, and I can change the brightness right here with this meter. So I can change that to a really dark red. So this just changed the brightness of whatever color node that you have selected. On the bottom left over here on this chart, there's like a checkerboard icon. What this does is make the node invisible. So what this allows you to do is see the layers underneath this effect layer for a short period of time in your wave. So on the left, let's go back over to the left over here. These effect layers are a priority system. I explained this in another video on how to prioritize your layers, but what I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to grab the fire effect and I'm going to bring that fire effect down to the bottom and I'm going to unhide it. So if I select this fire effect and select all my keys and I change my hot to red and my cold to yellow and hit save. So now, because my wave has an invisible section in it, it's going to go through my wave, and that invisible section, you're going to see the fire underneath. So you can see between the red and the blue here, you're able to see that fire design underneath. Also with the color system, they also have hex codes on there. So if you see a certain color that you like online, it gives you a 6-digit hex code. You can put that 6-digit hex code into here. Right off the top of my head, I know 6Fs is white. You can just put in your hex code in here, it'll change it. Also down here on the very bottom, you'll see a plus icon. If you create a specific color that you like, so let's say I like this color blue right here. If I press this plus icon down here, it's going to add this color into my selectable colors. So I can go into other layers like this fire effect layer and I can make my hot color over here this blue color. Now that I've kind of gone over all the color selections that you can do and a lot of the options with Wave, I'm just going to continue showing you guys each of the effect layers and how they work. I'll continue with fire here. So fire, I kind of already showed you guys, but the hot section is towards the bottom of your keyboard. The cold section is towards the top of your keyboard. If you make this pink and you make the cold red, what that's going to do is towards the bottom of your keyboard, you're going to have the pink color. Towards the top, you're going to have more of a red color, and it gets a little bit darker. It's not as bright as the bottom. Audio meter. I don't know if it's broken right now or not. I don't know. But when I try to use audio meter on my keyboard, it does not recognize my music. No matter what setting I put this at, it has to be deafeningly loud to be able to even register on the meter. So I'm just going to play a little bit of music to explain what I'm talking about here. So you can see it's red right now, and it's not really leaving red. If I click on my volume here and I turn it up, so you can see I have it up to 100 right now, and it's really loud in my headset. But no matter how I change these settings, it does not really cycle through the colors like it should. Like this gets up to like green at the most, and this is as high as it goes. So you can see it doesn't really even get into blue, and it is so loud in my headset right now. I can't stand it. Breathing is our next effect layer. So I'm just going to go ahead and unhide breathing. I'm going to select all of my keys here and just kind of show you guys the options. Similar to fire, it has two color options. It will cycle one color and then the next. So if I have red here and I have blue over here, it'll go from black and it'll kind of breathe on red, and then it'll go back to black and it'll kind of breathe on blue. And it'll do this between your two colors infinitely. Or you can change the playback. So you can have it breathe on selected keys and end after one time. So right now it is off, but when I click a key, it'll cycle between the two colors and go back to black after it's cycled through. And then it stops. You can change the speed to go through slower and faster if you want. I recommend doing fast just because it takes forever to get through the lighting if you choose this option. That's just me. Next is reactive. So I'm just going to select all my keys here. So the options for reactive, you get to choose one color, whatever color you want, or you can choose random and it'll randomly select any color for you. I'm just going to choose random for now. You can change the speed at which the color disappears. So right now I'm just going to go ahead and hit save. I have it on random colors, medium speed. So if I click a color on my keyboard, you can see it's a random color that dissipates, and you can keep clicking the same key. It'll randomly go through colors, and you can see it reacts to whatever key you press. And now I'm just going to select all three of these at the same time. You can see how they dissipate, what the difference are, what the differences is between the speeds. Moving on to a ripple. So I have a couple different videos on ripples and what you can do with them, how to make them go in a line, how to make a black ripple, all of that kinds of stuff. I'll put those in the description below. You can check those out if you want. Just to briefly go over ripple, I'm going to select all the keys and I'm going to make it just one color and just make it a red ripple and hit save. You can change the speed at which you want the ripple to go. So if I click, you can see how slow it goes at 10. You can go as high as 50 on this. And when I click, you can see how fast it goes. 1 is about this speed right here, which is snail speed. I'm going to set this back to 10. So width, you can have as low as 100% and you can go as high as 400%. What the width changes is how big your ripple effect is, like how thick it is. So at 100%, you can see it's real skinny. At 400%, you can see it's quite thick. I've read a lot of threads online where people complain about the ripple effect showing every time they click their mouse. You can change that. So what you have to do is you have to select just your keyboard. On your ripple effect, select your mouse and hit delete and just highlight your keys. This doesn't change it yet. What you have to do is change under playback, change your start to on selected keys and end after 1. So this will only create a ripple effect when the selected keys are pressed, not your mouse. Hit save. So now you can see I'm clicking around I don't get any ripple effect anymore. But if I click my keyboard, I have my ripple. Next we have Starlight. Starlight's actually a really cool effect that I like to put on the keyboard. It can be done with wave, however, it would be very, very, very difficult to do with a wave. This effect layer I use quite a bit in my designs. So selecting all my keys, you can choose from your color drop down. Most of the time when I'm using Starlight, I'll choose a one tone effect and I'll usually make that white, just like this, to kind of create an actual starlight effect. You can change the density, which increases the amount that it will light up. You can see as I go up here, it's slowly going to be more and more starlights, more and more activity on your keyboard. At 10 the most, you're going to see a lot of light activity just going back and forth. On here you can see, you'll see speed. So right now it's on a medium. At 10 density and fast speed, you can see your keyboard basically goes crazy. Static. Static is a very, very basic lighting effect. It does exactly what it says it is. It's just a static color. If you want this key right here to be red, you click on that key, you make it red, hit save. It'll be red. It'll never change from red. It'll never do anything. So you can make this half of the keyboard yellow, and you can make this half of the keyboard blue. You can make this key over here green, hit save. It'll just stay on these colors. These colors will stay lit this way and never change. Wheel is a new effect layer that was added with the latest update. I'm still fairly brand new with this lighting effect. However, I have created a couple different lighting designs using this effect, such as my fighting lightsabers design, as well as my radar design. It's just a really cool tool to have to get colors going in a radial motion. Something you don't have to use wave for. So with wheel selected, I'm just going to select all my keys here, and I'm going to click the color drop down and just choose the multicolor pattern here, and I'm going to hit save. So with the wheel effect, there's also another thing you need to worry about, and it often when you click on it, it's not on the page. If you hold control and scroll out a little bit, you'll see there's this little green wheel spinning around. This is going to be the very center of your wheel pattern. So if you want that to be in the middle of your keyboard, just go ahead and grab that puppy and drop it right on the middle of your keyboard. Now you can see that your wheel effect rotates around that green pivot. Also, if your little center point is way out here in the middle of nowhere and you don't really realize it, you can also click on this center point button right here. If you just click on it once, select your keys, click on it once, and then you can just drop it wherever. You can also locate it that way. You can change your speed, which varies from 0 to 360. You can change the directions of your wheel pattern. Right now it's going clockwise. This is counterclockwise. And you can also change the start. So you can have this effect layer start on when you press a selected key, and you can also have it end after one time. So right now it's off. If I click a button, it's going to start my wheel design, and it's going to rotate all the way through the whole color wheel, and then it's going to go black, just like that. So under playback, if you choose on selected keys, so what this is supposed to do is it's supposed to turn your wheel effect or whatever effect layer you have off whenever you press that selected key. The only issue with this is that it has to finish its rotation through the color wheel before it will go off. So if I click, it's going to go through the wheel. If I click again, it's going to finish that color pattern and then go off. So no matter where you're at in your circle, if you click the button, I'll wait a little bit longer. I'll click it now. It'll go off as soon as it finishes its pattern. Wave also has that feature as well under its lights. So you can see it has an end of on selected keys. Same thing. It'll finish going through its wave before it will shut off. That's going to do it for this video, guys. I hope you guys learned a lot from this video. I hope you guys learned how to customize your Razer keyboard the way that you guys want it. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. hit that subscribe button and notification icon. That way you guys get notifications as soon as I upload my keyboard lighting videos. You can follow me on social medias. On Instagram, it's at @UnrealHero_. On Twitter, it's Unreal_Hero. And you can also follow me on Twitch. I stream every once in a while. You can find me on there at UnrealHero_. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys later.